Okay guys, since I decided to do this test again, I figured I'd do it correctly and offer as much information to help you guys out as possible. So there's a Joanne close by, so I ran down and bought everything they had in size 18 needles, and I went in and bought a size 16 also, so that we can test it too. So what we've got here is we've got the Singer needles that are 110/18s. Then we've got the Schmetz jeans needles, and it's got multiple sizes. It goes 14, 2 14s, 2 16s, and 1 18. So we'll try the 16 and the 18. I'll show you the results on each machine as we go through it. I'll try the 16 and the 18. We'll compare how they do. This is a size 16 needle. This is the Dritz denim needle, size 16. And these are the universal needles for Singer that are size 16 also. So again, we've got 18s, an 18 and a 16 from Schmetz. We've got a 16 from Dritz, and we've got a 16 from Singer on their universal needles. Anyway, we'll go through those, each one on each machine, and we'll compare them and see how they do. Okay, I want to show you the thread we're going to use in each machine. This will be used in the needle each time. I've got it set up on the thread holder so I can quickly feed it through on each machine. What I use on my home machines is the Dual Duty XP. I think it's Coates & Clark. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I use exclusively in all my home machines. So each machine, even though it may be a different color, it's going to be this thread that's in the bobbin. But we're going to use the exact same thing on the top, and the needle thread is what's important here, so I want to let you know that. Okay, our test is going to be on the Janome HD1000. We've got the Dritz size 16 needle installed, and this is an O pair of Levi 550s, which really have the most dense side seams of just about any jean out there. 100% cotton, heavy denim, so that's what we're going to try it out on. So here we go. One of the things I like about this machine is the extra high presser foot lift. It makes it really nice. This table is not optimal for doing this, so give me just a second so we can get everything in here and lined up. Alright, what we're going to do, we're going to start out on the side seam, and we're going to sew all the way around to the second side seam, so that'll get it starting on the side seam, which where a lot of them struggle, and then getting up over the next side seam. So here we go. And that's what you get. So they stall out. Yeah, I can crank the hand wheel, but that's not what this test is about, just to see what they'll do. So alright, let's switch over to the size 18 needle and let's see what they do. Okay, we're back with the Janome HD1000. I put the size 18 Schmetz needle in, and the 16 Schmetz needle didn't work. These are all denim needles we're testing here, so let's see what the results of this one are. Press your foot down. Again, we're starting on the side seam, which is the thickest part. Need a walking foot on it. Alright, here we go down the regular 3 layer part, and we'll go back up over the side seam on this side and see how it does. This is my favorite under $300 machine. It's so smooth. Really like the way it sews. Yep, and it's having trouble there. That's where the leather needle really helped, I guess because of the piercing power of it. But I'll tell you what, let me try something. I'm going to try putting the bevel under the foot, and let's see if that helps it out. So hang on, let me get that. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got that under the foot, so let's see if that makes any difference leveling it out. Yep, that did the trick. It seems to have stalled out. Flatten it out and see if it'll go. There we go. Yeah, it's tight space. These jeans are kind of the boot cut and there's not a whole lot of room in them. Okay, alright, that shows us on that. With a little bit of help, it'll sew it with the size 18 needle, the size 16. It wouldn't do anything at all. The main thing I look for is if it'll start on its own once it's up there on that side seam level. And in this case it did it with the 18 needle, it did not do it with the 16 needle. So let's move on to the next test. Okay, here we are with the little baby Lock BL9. We've got the size 16 needle on it, and we're going to give it a try and see how it works. I don't think this thing will sew it. It's not that powerful. It's a good little machine, but it's not really good on real heavy, thick fabric. So let's give it a try and see how it handles it. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. It tries, but it just struggles with it, and it ends up with a mess with a thread, and it just can't complete a stitch. So let's move forward and try the size 18 needle and see if it makes a big difference. Okay, I've got the Baby Lock BL9 set up with the size 18 Schmetz denim needle, and I've got my old Levi's that I used to wear before I lost a lot of weight. Anyway, so I've got these set up, and they're the 550s, 100% cotton, very thick seam lines on the bottom of the hems, so that's what I use for testing. So here we go. Coming up on the second seam, second side seam I should say, so let's see how it does. Yeah, it's having trouble getting up over it, and that's where one of these little devices helps, which was already mentioned on the forum. It gets it lifted up so you can get across it. Okay, there we go. That will do the trick. So that works. You see the difference in the size 18 needle. Now you need something to help it get over the seams, especially in this machine and some of the lower end machines, but it can penetrate it, it can get it going, and that's what I wanted to show in the test, the difference between the 16 and the 18. Alright, we'll move on now. Let's move on to the Singer Heavy Duty 4223, and let's see how it does. Next up is the Singer Heavy Duty. This is the model 4223. These machines have a 1 amp motor in them, so in theory it should be powerful enough to do this. I've got the Schmetz size 16 needle on here, so let's give it a go and see how it goes. Coming up to the second side seam, we'll see how it hits it. Well, you heard a little bit of a hiccup, but it went right over. So far, seems to have done the best of the three of them when it comes to size 16 needle. That's a 16 and it works that good. I know the 18 will work even better, but if a 16 will work, there's no sense in using an 18. The only thing I can think of is in the Singer needles that I had, I must have got a bad batch or something, but I bought some new ones, so let's test one of those out, because it's on this machine that it failed miserably. It broke the needle and everything, so let's try it again. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm set up on the Singer Heavy Duty Model 4223 just as before. The only thing that I've done is I've changed to the Singer size 16 denim needle. Now before, when I test the same needle in a different pack, I bought some new ones, I broke 3 needles. That's all I had in the pack. So trying this same thing, I tried it 3 different times. Each time it broke the needle. So let's see what happens here. Amazing. The only thing I can think of is I must have had a bad batch of needles. So I guess lesson learned here. Kevin, test more before you post results like this on a forum. Anyway, but it's good to see this. It's good to know that, you know, even though something doesn't work sometimes, I mean, manufacturers do make mistakes and can end up with a defective product. So let me go on and see how it handles going over the other seam here. Alright, we're about to come up on it, so let's see how it does. Okay, it went over it. The stitch looks good. The one coming off doesn't look so good because of the distance. And again, you'd want to use one of these to get a good stitch on these kind of machines. I mean, on my industrial machines, I can go right over that and it handles it beautifully. But on these home machines, they really need something helping level them off. A walking foot would probably also help this too, but it's powerful enough where I just left the regular foot on it to see that it would sew it, and it did sew it successfully. So again, the size 16 needle seems to work. I'm going to go ahead and put the Dritz needle in here, and the size 16, let's compare it and see if it works too. That way you'll know if you go out and you can only get one or the other. Maybe, you know, this will help you figure out, okay, that may or may not work for you. So let me get it and try it. Okay, I've got the Dritz size 16, 100/16 needle installed on here. And we've tried the Singer, we've tried the Schmetz size 16, both of those work. Let's see if this one will work too. So here we go. Had a little bit more trouble. Let's see how it handles going back over it. Okay, it made it over it. And again, let me look at the stitch coming off. Yeah, it's doing the same thing all the others did. You end up with a little bit longer stitch when you come off. It's better to use the little leveling tool here to help you out with that to get an even stitch. That seems to work well too. The Schmetz and the Singer needles didn't struggle at all at the beginning, so I would say those two work well. Since I got a bad batch of the Singer, obviously, the Schmetz, I've never had any problems with them. I never buy Dritz. It's the first time I bought them, and based on this, I don't think I'd use them. Even though it works, it struggled. So if that's all you've got, know what you're getting into. It's probably not going to be as good as the Schmetz, number one, number two, the Singer. So anyway, I think I'm going to stop at this. It kind of justifies to me what I ended up with is evidently a bad batch of size 16 Singer needles because it broke them doing the exact same test on the exact style of jeans. And so anyway, I hope this helps you out though. Obviously the 16s will work, and this is the thickest stuff you're going to get. Just so you know, I tried the size 14 on a Lucky pair of jeans. The Lucky pair aren't as thick as this, and the size 14 worked doing this same test without any problem at all. So you can get away with a 14 if it's not an old Levi 100% cotton 14-ounce denim. But the Luckies are like, they've got some sort of a stretch lycra or something like that in them, and they're thinner, they're a little bit more pliable, and on that style, even an 11-ounce weight denim, you can probably get away with a size 14 needle on. But anyway, I was wanting to test on the toughest thing, and this little Singer seems to hum right through it. So the Janome Heavy Duty struggled a little bit, which kind of surprised me because I actually like sewing on it more than I do this machine. But as far as power goes, you saw it. This one hums right through it. So I'm going to there's some size 18 needles that I bought from Singer. I'm going to set up the HD1000 again with a size 18 needle and see what it does. So let me do that next and we'll take a look at that. Okay, I'm back with the Janome HD1000, and I've put the Singer size 18, well not 16, size 110/18 needles, needle in here, so we're going to give it a try and see how it does compared to what it did with the Schmetz. So here we go. Oh, that's interesting. It didn't have any problem at all that time, so I'm going to try it one more time, reposition it in a little bit different position and see if that was what the difference was the last time, because starting at a different point on this top seam can make a big difference. If you're just a little bit behind it or a little bit in front of it, it can make a difference. So let's see what happens here, because that did much better than what the Schmetz needle did in size 18. Tell you what, let me go to this other one that's got a little bit less traffic on it. Start back just a tad this time, which is maybe what I did the last time, to see if it wasn't completely flat, if that's what threw it off. So here we go. Yep, that's exactly it. So if you slant it a little bit, it's going to have a little bit more trouble doing that initial penetration versus, let me take it back here. If your needle's fairly level, which is what I did the first time, it appears, it just takes off. Okay, well, that's good. The Singer 18 needle, so either the 16 or the 18 and the Singer work great. The 18s, if you think it's going to be heavy like this, you're probably safer going with an 18, or at least having them on hand just in case, because all denim's not equal. But anyway, I think I'd keep just 3 of them on hand just in case you need them. The size 16 seemed to have worked fine. On this machine, it seems that the 18 worked a little bit better than the 16 did. But anyway, so that was only during that test. If I reposition it, it may be okay. Anyway, I guess what my test results show me is my original test was faulty because of the bad Singer needles that I had. So it seems to work on all of these machines, and without any problem at all going between the 16. Obviously the 16 will work, the 18 will work, but hopefully this has been some help to you. Kind of teaches me to do a few more tests before I start posting stuff like that online, but maybe it'll help someone else along the way. You kind of learn from other people's mistakes. So anyway, that's it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or you need anything else, and I'll do my best to try to help you out. Take care.